Ooh, almost forgot. Mine look a little bit different than yours, and it's not, I never paint as well when I teach a piece. My sample that I paint on always seems to get goofed up, so this may just be a throwaway. We'll see. Okay. So like I said, just go ahead and float all around each cookie on the cookie. You guys need another couple of minutes to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it gives me a minute to do mine.
Mhm.
For those of you that are done, and if your highlights are dry, you can now float the shading on the cookie with dark chocolate. So that would just be opposite of where you were. I'm going to show you right here. So it's going to be on this edge. And that's going to be dark chocolate. Okay, so it looks like the cookie's a little cooked. Okay, so then you just go around on all of them just like that. You can always go back and add some more highlight if you lose it a little bit like I just did. You guys let me know if I'm going too fast or if you have any questions,
Okay.
just yell and I'll look up. And if your cookies start to look a little crooked or whatnot, we're going to do a lot of line work and you can straighten it out. And you can also straighten it out by going back over, your shading and your highlighting if you need to. Mine looks a lot darker on the screen than what it really is. It's just the lighting. Are you guys close to the toll shop? I think they're in Glendale.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
It
met.
depends on what part of the valley we live in. I think some
Oh.
of us are 5 minutes away and some of us are 25 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I met some of those gals when I at the Vegas show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, oh, you got the drawing here.
Yeah, and I could hear them.
Okay. Is that good?
I don't think they can hear you. Maybe they can.
I'm gonna have to leave.
We good with that?
This is Liz. I'm gonna leave and go on my phone because this is gonna die.
Okay, well, we'll see you then.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, so she's out and now I'll wait for her to.
Okay.
See. I wonder if she's back.
Liz, just go ahead as you
Okay.
normally would, and we're recorded, so if she needs to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, after you've highlighted and shaded your cookies, we're gonna get out some Snow White and a dry brush. And we're gonna add highlights to the center of the frosting. So I know that other group can't hear on here, but I'm assuming they're kind of tracking it by the instructions, but we're going to take a dry brush, okay, and some Snow White.
Maybe hold your bottle of Snow White in the center, so they'll see that you're using
Yeah.
Snow White. There you go.
Snow White. Okay. And a dry brush. And I'm going to start up here. The number 1 cookie, I think I labeled them like that. Remember, don't push as hard as you're going out. You really want that center to pop. Okay. So you're going to do that on all the chocolate.
Liz, do you
Yeah.
see a request from the other Liz to come back in?
No, I haven't. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, all right. She was just asking me to ask you to let her in, but
I don't have an admin. Yeah, nothing.
okay, I'll let her know. She's been looking for you to let you in, but there's no request on her side.
There she is. There's 2.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay. Now I don't have my 4th cookie down. So we also have to do it on the 4th one also. Just don't forget, you guys know that, but it looks kind of funny when I'm doing it up here. Once you're done with that, you're going to get your bittersweet chocolate. So bittersweet chocolate. And we're going to float. Oh, shoot. And your flat. And we're going to float on the frosting. And it's a wide float and it's working towards the white highlight. Okay. So if I start right here, okay. And this, like I said, was a wide, soft float. And it's around anywhere there's a chocolate frosting edge, that's where you're going to float. Even up against like the other cookie area. Okay. Mine looks like chocolate ganache when it's wet. It's all shiny. All right, so you're gonna go.
Okay, she says she's still not in.
I hit admit all. And it says they're joining.
Okay, I see that now. It says connecting to audio.
Okay, now, okay, oh, I think she's in.
I'm in.
Okay, okay, sorry about that.
That's
I
okay.
did it. Yeah. Darn Zoom and electronics and everything else, right?
Yep, I have just one question real quick. We are,
Yeah.
we are recording this, so where would I go ahead and get this recording?
I am going to, I have to download it and everything, and it will be on YouTube. And when
Okay.
that's done, I'm gonna send it to Liz and she can email you guys the link.
Mhm.
And you'll just
Okay.
have to click on it and it will come up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, in your
Okay, thank
email.
you. Thank you.
Uh-huh. It might not be tonight. And
That's okay.
tomorrow I'll be home early in the afternoon, so I can do it then. Because sometimes it takes, I mean, there's been times where it's taken all night to download it and other times it's taken an hour. So it just depends on, I think, my
Yeah.
internet service, really.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I find, well, even though I upgraded, if there's a lot of people in my neighborhood on Spectrum, it slows everything down.
Never heard of Spectrum before, huh?
Spectrum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it used to be Time Warner, I think.
Oh,
I don't know.
I got good old Cox. Oh,
I actually got rid of all my TV stuff and went
Me-
with just streaming. So I'm not going to pay for cable or regular channel. I don't watch regular TV anymore anyway.
that's what I did.
So I stream if there's certain shows I want to watch, and that's it.
Most of them are on Hulu anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so now once you get your bittersweet chocolate, okay, and then I put on there's oh, that's okay. Forget what I was gonna say. Now, cookie number 4, the very bottom. Go ahead and paint your heart on. Okay, in poodle skirt, this pink heart. You can put that on and paint it poodle skirt pink.
Oh,
So after you put your heart on here, we're not going to do the detail because that's a lot of line work and a lot of dots. And I don't want you to be afraid that you're going to mess it up working on something else. So we'll go back to that. I'll make sure that there's time for that. Okay, so just get your pink heart in there. And then we move on to the candies.
son of a bitch.
Liz Harris. Liz
Yeah,
Harris. Liz Harris.
yes,
Can you put yourself on mute?
I did.
Okay.
I just unmuted.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And maybe it wasn't you. Sorry.
Okay, so now and I don't know if you guys have noticed in your pattern packet, I put in there to follow along shading worksheet. So everywhere I have it marked, that's your shade. I have it for the highlights where we did all our highlights. So if you need to follow along, you know, it's a little easier sometimes. And then the detail also. Okay. So that way you know exactly where everything goes. And then you also have your wording, okay, to go at the top. If you're painting on an envelope.
I didn't get the wording.
It was in the final packet,
I've got the packet right here.
the final one.
Well, I don't know. I got whatever they gave me. I have the details
Mhm.
in
If not, I can forward it on tonight.
and the basic. That's all I got.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. If it's not in there, Liz, I'll just email it to you.
Thank you so much.
I always have to laugh when you say Liz, because you're bound to get it correct most of the time.
To all the Liz's, I'll
Yeah.
email it.
I have never had this many Liz's ever.
Mm-mm.
It's just one of those really good names that just wasn't
I
spread around.
guess so. Well, I was supposed to be called Beth because it's Elizabeth. Everybody was supposed to call that my mom wanted Beth, but my grandpa started calling me Liz, and then that's all it took. So it
Well,
stuck.
No, I like Liz better, so I stuck with it.
So Liz Sharp, do you know if you had the wording in the final
just-
packet?
I just looked through the complete packet I printed out yesterday and it's not in there.
Okay, I'll email it to you.
No worries.
Okey doke. So now, after your pink heart is on there, go to the other side of your envelope and trace on your candy wrappers. Just the lines for the wrappers and each piece of candy. So that would be, I gotta look at my pattern. So over here, for instance, just your,
Oh, excuse me.
and all the wrappers, they're just little triangles like that. And then the piece of candy for the round one would just be a circle. So it's all, you can use your pattern to put them on to fit them into
Excuse me.
the heart box, okay? So just the outside wrapper and the piece of candy. I'm not gonna have as much on here, but I'm gonna put them somewhere else so I can still show you each one. And the good thing about these, they're all done the same way, except for the detail on the top. So it's just very repetitive. I'm not gonna fit all mine in. Well, mine looks a little funky, but that's all right. I don't care right now. You guys still need a few minutes to get the pattern on, or are you good?
Good.
Okay. Now, what you're gonna do. With some watered down Snow White. So Snow White. And you're gonna water it down. And you're gonna do a wash for all the wrappers. Not the candies, just the wrappers. And you can let some of that dark show through. Okay. So, oops, hold on. A little, I might have too big of a brush for mine. All right. Let's see. So just wash each wrapper,
Oh.
just get some little bit of color on there. And like I said, it's fine. Go ahead and let that dark show through because it's a sheer. It's supposed to be sheer. It's not solid. At least mine weren't. So just like that. So you just do all of them. Just throw some wash of color in there. I love painting like food. I like objects with food or drinks or cups, and you can just get real creative, I think, with that. You can get real fancy and if you want. When you're done with the candy wrappers, you can just do one good base coat on each piece of candy with dark chocolate. So you don't have to put 2 coats, just put 1 coat. Just make sure it's covered pretty good. Oops. I gotta type, I think it's good, okay. So with dark chocolate, we're gonna base in each piece of candy. So last night I was painting, just doing some regular stuff. And in this brush I have right here, it's a Princeton and it's a round number 5. It had this tip and I just hated the tip because I couldn't base coat good. So I cut it so it was more like a long, now it's like a long rectangle. I love this brush so much because it base coats so well now. And I don't know if they carry brushes like this, because it has the nice thickness of a round, but it's got a nice square tip. Maybe it's just me.
I can't remember. I was in a class somewhere and the lady said, oh no, don't throw your old brushes away. Just cut them off and make them a different shape.
I've
And she said it
yeah.
works.
Well, I love this thing, I'll tell you.
Well, this lady did it into all of her brushes.
Well, I've trimmed them before when I've had strays that I can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
But I just bought some new brushes. Well, my first batch was from Scharf. I guess they're from Georgia, and they were at the Vegas show. And I really like them. They were very, very good, nice people, nice brushes, not super expensive, but right now everything's expensive. So, but then I know King Art is what Lowell Cornell used to be. I guess it's his son or something. But anyways, I ordered some of theirs and boy, those are super nice too, but they're
Oh,
very,
really?
yeah.
I didn't realize that was King Art either. Oh.
King Art, I think this is what somebody told me. It's the son
Mm-hmm.
of the Lowell Cornell company. And so now his is called King Art and it's the same type of brush. Very good brushes. I mean, I love them. Just like I loved Lowell Cornell. So I figured, well, I'll stick with what I know because I used them for so many years, and they're just expensive. Or maybe it's just me, I think that. But anyway, that's my little tip. Cut off your tips.
Okay.
All right, so give you guys another minute or so. You can fill in your chocolate candies. So it's been very windy here in Southern California the last few days. And just so you know, if let's say my power goes, not that my power is going to go out, but if my cable or my internet goes down, don't get off line or anything. Just stay put, and then I'll just hurry up and get back on as soon as I can. Because sometimes that happens. Not that it hasn't happened lately, but my luck. So
It seems like we get windier every year.
Really.
Yeah. Been very windy here.
Well, it was so warm the other day. It was getting
Yeah.
hot last week. And I'm not a hot person. I'm saying this to people that live in Arizona. I don't know if I'd survive, but I hate the wind. Maybe that's just it. I can't stand it. But then it's that hot wind. Ugh.
Yeah.
Santa Anas that come in and all that stuff.
Like sticking your head in the oven.
Yes.
But it's a dry heat, you know. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I just had cataract surgery, so everything's a little fuzzy on this.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have the recording for sure then.
Yeah, because it's only been a week, so everything's just a little on the fuzzy side still. They put a lens in, so it's called monovision,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah, we talked about that.
so I don't have to have the glasses anymore, the reading glasses, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, girls, so the next step is you're gonna get out some milk chocolate and some sand. And get out a dry brush again. Okay. And we're gonna do milk chocolate first and then sand. We're gonna dry brush the candies themselves. So milk chocolate. So when we do these, milk chocolate is the first dry brush, and that's going to be the widest. Then we're going to do sand, and that's going to be not quite as wide. Then at the very end, we're going to go back and add some white. I think that's also on there. But we want to, that will make it kind of give it more shape on the top of the candy. So your first dry brush is milk chocolate. Excuse me. Go around on all of them. Now, your dry brush needs to be the shape of the candy. So this one is circle. So your dry brush is going to be circle shape. Your next one will be longer, more of a square or a rectangle rather. Okay. Then the triangle, a little narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. This will become, you'll have more definition once you put the sand on there. I loved painting these candies. I can't even tell you how much fun it was to design them and paint them and figure them out. Okay, so then you got this round one. And as I was drawing these, I'm like, okay, what's in a C's candy box, right? All the different kinds. But it's easy. I mean, they're either square or round, or some are fatter than others. Okay, then you're going to get the larger rectangle there. Then you got some square ones. Okay. And this one down here at the bottom, or at the against the edge.
Yeah.
Half circle candy. Okay. So then just wipe out your brush really well and pick up your sand. And you're not going to go as wide. Don't go as heavy, quite. Okay. So there's your sand right here. And you're going to go. And if you want them a little brighter, you can go back after they dry for a minute, even though it's a dry brush. Okay. See how the candy started to make a little bit of a shape. Okay, same thing with the pineapple triangle. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. Right there. Okay. This is just that little flat.
They're really starting to look like chocolates at over here.
Yeah. That's just to me, that was the best part of painting this, was it was just so much fun to watch them kind of evolve into a real piece of candy, right?
Yeah, they very realistic.
Yeah. And they're not that hard.
No,
I mean, it's just your normal, your basic tool painting. I think it's just, the layering of it helped and all that stuff. So.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, then they really, once we start, because we're going to shade around here and do some stuff on the wrappers, that's really going to make them pop off your envelope. Okay. So if you have a fairly small flat, so if you have like a quarter would be perfect. Now you can use I like angle brushes for something like this, but you can use a regular flat. And what we want to do is I'm going to kind of show you. I'm going to put my piece up to we're going to get really close and narrow right on the edge of each piece of candy. And it's going to be with dark chocolate. So it's going to be on the wrapper up against the candy. And you're going to just go around the shape. So I'm going to just, and it's narrow, but you don't want it real heavy, because you don't want it to look like it's a real line. Okay, so let me add some little bit of dark chocolate out here. So for the gals that can't hear, it's oops, it's dark chocolate. And so I'm going to be right on the wrapper up against the candy. And I'm just going to do it. And because the candy is dark chocolate, that edge doesn't have any color. So if you go onto the edge of the candy itself, it's going to be fine. So you want to get right. So you're right up against the candy, and it's just a very small float. This is going to take you a minute because you don't want it to be, you don't want to get crazy because you're on the wrapper. Okay. So it's going to be just like that.
You said that was dark chocolate?
Yes, yes.
Thank-
That's on the wrapper and just up next to the candy. You know, and it might be easier to go ahead and go on the candy just a little bit. You have a little more freedom that way. Okay. So just go around to all the candies just like that. Okay. I'm still here. I'm just looking for a pen. I want to write down everybody's name because we're going to have a raffle. But I'm also going to need the names of the people that are with Beverly.
Well, let me know when you're ready and I'll give you that. Her name is Reggie.
Oh, I know who she is. Okay. That's Regina, right? Oswald.
Yes,
Okay, Reggie. So it's Beverly and Reggie are together.
yes.
So let's see here. Right, there's 8. I'm sorry, you guys can hear my paper tearing.
That's okay.
It's kind of hard to do raffles over Zoom. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to draw one of your names. And whoever's name I draw gets to go onto my website, or if you already know which one, and you can pick a pattern and I'll email
Cool.
that to you. Okay, that will be your prize. Unless you want it
Wonderful.
hard copy, I can send it in the mail too. It doesn't matter. Either one is fine with me.
That's a great prize.
Well, little thank you. I love to be the raffle winner, and I know how I like it, so I'm sure other people like it too. I would think so. And I'll put it in my little bowl here. Okay, so I'm so the others know what I'm doing. They can look. All right, so the first name, Debbie. Okay, so she can go onto my website and pick
Thank
out
you.
a pattern and just email me and let me know which one you want.
Okay, thank
And-
you.
Yeah, and my website is just my name, lizvigliato.com.
Okay,
Super easy. Okay, so
Hey,
there's
thank
Debbie.
you.
So we're gonna do two more. This one is Liz V. Hey, I'm a Liz V too. That's funny. Is it Voss?
Oh, Vos. That's
Vos.
me.
Liz
Yeah.
Vos. Okay, so you can go onto the website and pick out a pattern and then just
Thank
email me and
you.
let me know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, last one. Reggie.
Ah,
I'll have to put her name up here so she can see it. I should type it in the chat. Okay. Well, when we take a break, I can do that. Oh, she says, what did I win? She wants to know now. Okay, I gotta move my computer. Okay, so. Okay, so now I'm gonna keep moving here. We got the important stuff out of the way, the raffle. Now, we're gonna get out a little bit of bittersweet chocolate. And this is going to be done in two floats because the first float, it just doesn't, it's not intense enough. So with bittersweet, okay, and your flat, we're going to float the tops of each candy. So we're just going to go around the top in the shape of, of what it is. We're going to let it dry and then we're going to do it again. Okay. So 2 times with bittersweet. And these are not going to be really, really wide floats, but you want it to show. That's one of the reasons why we have to do it twice. Because I didn't want to ruin the bittersweet chocolate color because it just went so perfect, I thought, on the candy. Hence the name bittersweet chocolate. That if I use soft black or something, I thought it just didn't look right when I did it, when I was, playing around with it. So just 2 coats of the bittersweet. And if you use a quarter, this size brush, a quarter, you don't have to worry too much about getting it too wide. If you need to fix your shape of your candy, this is the time to do it.
What color are you doing that with?
Bitter-
I missed it.
That's okay. It was bittersweet chocolate, and
Thank you.
it's 2 floats. You're gonna do it once, let it dry, and then do it again. And you're
Okay.
gonna just go on the edge, on
Okay.
top of your candy at the edge. See how it's starting to come up out of that paper. Because it's a separate float from what you did on the wrapper. Okay. Now, let's see. Did I do it? Picture. When you get to the edge, don't put your dark across. Don't do that because your candy is actually, there's more that's not seen. So it doesn't get cut off here. Right, so now I'm going to do the second coat on my circle. And it's really going to just deepen that float.
Liz, can you let Reggie in? I think she's trying to come in on her phone.
Oh, okay. Oh, there she. Okay. Hello? She in? Oh. She doesn't have audio.
She should have audio if she's on her phone.
Right. Oh, she's muted. Okay.
When you first go on, it asks you if you want to do video, audio. Maybe she missed that.
Oh, they have sound now.
Oh, yay, good.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay, they're on.
Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break to get up and stretch?
Yeah.
Once you're dark. I hope the candies are turning out okay.
Yes.
They should start to pop. Then we'll, about 5 minutes, potty breaks, drink breaks, whatever you need.
They're looking pretty yummy.
I know.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. And I'm gonna stop the recording for a minute, but
Okay,
just don't let me forget to turn it back on. I've done that, trust me. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see, where was I? Okay, so then we're gonna take Snow White. And you should probably try to use a clean, dry brush. If not, just clean the one you were using and then just really wipe it out good or dry it out good. Now this highlight with the Snow White isn't huge. It's gonna be, let's see, I think I'll start right here. And just kind of test it like that. And then you can just really try to make a little spotlight in it. And you're gonna do that for all of them. It's just, they're not real big, but it is very bright. Okay. Because all these candies are gonna have something on top of them. And even though it might look kind of funny now, it's like this little dot of white or spotlight of white. It's going to be covered, or at least part of it will be. Okay. Then the last step for this part of the candies is, oops, sorry, we're going to line the wrapper. And it's actually a wide lines, but you would still use a liner brush. It's just a thicker line. So, and it's just these outside like that, okay? Mine got a little goofy. So just line them. If you want a more triangle, more precise, it's just the edge. Don't go all the way down into the paper. Okay. This one kind of looks like one of those, like the Reese's. Okay. So on this one, if you're looking down, it looks like you're looking inside the wrapper. Okay. So I know this is going to take you a few minutes to line those wrappers with the white. I'm going to look for that pattern, that other part of the pattern, so I can email real quick. Let's see. You guys still working on your papers or should we move on?
Mhm.
Okay, we can move on because the papers, they're all done the same. So I'm gonna get for who, I mean, still work on them in between, but we're gonna do some work on the teapot and the cup. Okay, so we're gonna dry brush with Snow White. So that one should be good to go. So with some Snow White, we're gonna dry brush the center. Oh, let me show these guys. Well, they have sound now, but it's Snow White. The center of the lid. Oops, that got pretty heavy. The center of the lid. The spout. And okay, so then in between each pink heart, we're going to do some dry brushing. Just that negative space, you want to fill it in with some highlights, okay? And then here we're going to go across the pink, the bottom. And it's going to be just, it's in the center and it's going all, you know, across. Don't go all the way. Just kind of keep that shape. I know it's kind of hard to see on my screen. And the last highlight for now is you're going to float with Snow White the outside edge of the handle. Now, if you're Snow White, if you want it brighter, you can do it again. But I think it just doesn't pop out a lot because it's not on a dark gray. So, but we're going to go ahead and just float the outside edge. Such a glare. Now this outside edge actually moves to an inside edge when you get towards the bottom. It's not on the outside anymore. Okay. Okay. All right, the next color you're going to get out is graphite. Okay, and we're going to float. I guess I better get mine out. I'm going to show you. So when using the graphite, just make sure that you're blended out really well, because it's such a strong color and you want it to look soft. So if you have a little mop brush to soften it, you can use that. I always do. And this is a small area, so you don't want a real small brush. But again, I like just using my angle. And you're just going to go across the bottom of the lid. And I just tap it out so it softens. Okay. So we're going to do the bottom of the lid. And I got some on my pink here that I don't want there. And it's going to be, hold on one second. Let me see, where's my photograph? Or you know what, I should pull out my my shading. Okay, now I have a better idea of what I'm talking about. So you're going to go across the bottom and then you're going to go on either side. With the graphite.
Liz,
Yeah.
can you keep an eye out for one of the members just got dropped and she's trying to get back in?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Liz Harris got dropped. I told her to just rejoin like she would.
Yeah.
So if you see her, I told her.
Okay. I don't see anybody right now.
Okay, well,
I'll keep
I don't-
looking.
all right.
Oh, here it is in the waiting room. There's one. There she is. Okay. I admitted her. She back in? Yeah.
Well,
Oh, you're in. Okay.
Thank you.
yeah.
Your box of videotapes, documents, and photos that are degraded, Legacy Box professionally converts them to thumb drive or the cloud. Legacy Box is simple and safe, with over 1 million satisfied customers. Visit legacybox.com. Movie is the world's first whole body deodorant.
You want to mute yourself? Somebody has the TV on. Okay, thanks. Okay, so then you're going to go on the other side with your graphite. Okay. And then you're going to do the, on the spout, you're going to go on the left side right here. come around the cup. Do a real soft float. On the bottom here. Right next to the pot itself, this float. Okay. Mine looked a little square, but that's okay. If you have any of your spout showing in between or kind of behind the cup, and you can see it through your teacup handle, you can go ahead and float right in here. Okay, right here. Actually, I'm going to turn mine around just for a second. So all right, so far we've shaded the top, the spout, okay, so now we're going to go across the top here. With the graphite moves. Mine's not dark enough. I barely got it on there. I have such a glare. Okay, so you're going to go across the top. You're going to go on the bottom, across above the pink area, I should say. But on the gray. Make sure you don't hit the handle of the teacup, but just go across here. Mine's definitely way too dark, but that's okay. You can probably see it better. Okay. You're going to go on the sides, and you're also going to go around the hearts. So it's going to be on the left side, you're going to have to just kind of try to get a little bit of color in there. It doesn't have to be a full shade. Just want to make sure it separates from the spout. And then you're going to go around each heart. Okay. So I'm just going to do one side and then flip it. And I still have to do my right side of the teapot, but then I'm going to flip it. And I can do the other side of the heart. I just found it a little easier. don't know what I did with my picture of it. Missed a little bit here. So I have to come up. Okay. And then the side here, if you didn't get it. So now when you look at it, you're going to see why we did those dry brushes in between. Okay. Because we floated each side of the heart. And it kind of makes this a little more round. All right.
Mhm.
Also, I'm sorry, somebody. Okay, so the last float with the graphite for now is going to be on the inside, start on the inside, it'll end up on the outside of, on the handle. So on the handle.
Look.
Oh, you know what? I've realized I've had the wrong glasses on the whole time. Gee, that's better. I have a pair for my computer and a pair that I paint with and do everything else. So I'm kind of doing both, but certainly don't want to paint with my computer glasses. Anyway, just go ahead and do the handle. You're going to end up on the outside when you come around. Okay. Boy, I wish I knew what oh, here it is on the floor. Jeez. Okay. Give you guys to finish up on that, and then you're going to get out. You're going to get out some Tuscan red. You know, I think I may have goofed with this bottom pink section. What color did you guys paint yours? Poodle skirt or peony? This right here.
Poodle skirt. Poodle skirt.
Poodle skirt. Okay, we're going to do our squares in peony pink then. All right, so now you're going to get out your Tuscan red. And we're going to work on this bottom section. Hold on just 1 second before you do that. Okay, so that's fine. With Tuscan red, we're going to do some floating on here. But I think to be safe, because I think I made a mistake. get out some peony pink also. So we're going to start with peony pink, do some floating, and then we're going to just reinforce it and deepen it a little bit with some Tuscan. I think that will be better. So with peony pink, and you're going to blend it pretty well. Let's see, I want to get a bigger brush. Okay, we want to go across here. Around the handle a little bit where the handle touches the pot, and you want to really soften this out. Okay. Then you're going to go across the bottom. And up the side right here. Okay. And then make sure you go over here on this side. So pretty much you've floated with peony around this whole thing, the whole bottom section. And you're going to soften it if you can, if you want to. And then you take a little bit of your Tuscan red, and this really makes it pop. But you really want to make sure you blend it. You don't want it quite as wide as your pink. So you're just going to kind of go over it a little bit. Oops. And then mop it out. Or if it's soft enough, you're good. Got a little bit of a water line in there. I can get rid of that later. But see how with that Tuscan, it deepens it a little bit, and then you're just going to come back on the sides here. It's almost just a wash. I love Tuscan when I paint with pinks, because it's just like it's such a great shading color. Okay. Okay. So that's what it should look like. Give you a minute to finish that up. See, what I'm trying to do is make sure we get all our floats in and highlights and stuff like that. And then at least a few, if not all, maybe we'll get them all in, of the detail work. Is everybody busy for Easter this year?
Hmm.
Well, I don't have little ones, but I still make my kids baskets, and we go to my mom's, and my nieces and nephews are all there, and they have the egg hunt. So
That's kind of fun.
it's still fun. Even the older kids like the egg hunt.
Mhm.
It's just
Is
fun.
it-
to-
Is
Huh?
it just eggs or do you give something else?
It's eggs that my mother fills with money for them.
Ah,
Just a bunch of change. And then she has these golden eggs, and she puts dollars or $5 in it. And
that's
then we
kind of
all
fun.
have, yeah, and we all have dinner, and my
We're
mom's getting older, so she still has it, but my daughter lives with her, and so we're there to help her do everything. But it's still at her house.
We're doing ours a week later.
Okay.
My granddaughter's in the hospital for a week, so we gotta wait till she comes home.
Yep. Okay.
So all good.
Yep. Well, my husband's out of town, so this is very strange at my house. He's a first-time grandpa, and he went up to Oregon to visit his son and to see his granddaughter. She's just a baby.
Ah.
So it's just me and my 16-year-old having the time of our lives. Well, I don't mind it because I get to take off work every day. I get to come home or go to work late every day for school. So anyway, now we're going to do the teacup, which, as you probably have guessed, it's going to be pretty much the same colors as we did for the pot. We're going to dry brush, and this is no excuse, but this is like one of my first detail patterns. And I'm reading it going, why did I do it like that? I should have done like all the highlighting at the same time, different things like that. I suppose at some point I could go back and change it. But anyways, doesn't matter. We are going to dry brush with some Snow White on the teacup. And we're going to go across here on the gray. Oops, I'm out of the camera. Right here. Get your highlights in with the dry brush here. And okay, and then across the bottom. I think on the top
Uh-oh.
section, you might need it a little bit heavier. I'm going to lower my camera for a second. I think you'll be able to see it better. I think that's better. Get a little more up close. Okay, so dry brush the centers. And then also the edges of the saucer. So that would just be in the front and kind of on the side. So it's right. Okay. And that can be a little rougher looking. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to float the white on the inside of this handle. This handle's smaller, obviously, than the pot, so just need a smaller brush. And so it's the outside. And again, like the other one, until you get to the bottom, and then it's the inside of the handle. Okay. Then with your graphite, you're going to float shade. Now we're going to shade the cup, the top parts with graphite. And so it's going to be the sides, and above the pink. And on the right side. Okay. Then on the saucer, this might get a little bit hairy because it's at an odd, well, just do one section at a time. So we're going to, you need to float up against the cup, okay? So up against the cup on the saucer. Just like that. Try to keep it a little rounder than I did, that's for sure. Then there's the ledge, or the edge of the front of the saucer is the bottom. And that's where you want to put your other float.
You're off camera.
Oh, shoot, right there. Okay. So then the bottom right here. Now, if you lose the in between, well, first of all, mine, I hand drew this on, so it looks kind of funky because it's up too high. But if you lose the flat space in your saucer, you can go back in and add some of the the gray sky. Okay. So, hold on 1 second. I painted my tea bag wrong. It was correct in the instructions. It's supposed to be poodle skirt. But I painted it peony. Let me just throw, well, you're going to dry brush with white the center of your tea bag heart, the little tag. So just dry brush it white. Okay. And then you're going to float around it with peony. I'm going to use Tuscan because I painted it the wrong color, but you guys are going to use peony pink and just float around the heart. And if you painted it wrong like I did, you would just float with Tuscan. I need a new chair. It's so squeaky. I think I said that the last time I had a class. I still haven't gotten a new chair. Okay, so just float. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to look at my instructions real quick. So this is what I think we're going to do. This part is actually in the instructions, the next part to do. But I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the detail of the cookies and the candy and whatnot, because this is so basic that you got, if we didn't have time. It's just dry brushing it all with white and then float shading around all the objects with dark chocolate. So I'd rather not spend our time doing that. And do the cookie detail.
Yes.
I think that's more fun. So if you get out poodle skirt pink and a liner brush, we're going to line in a checkerboard. And this by no means has to be perfect. And I'm going to actually use a different color because I want you to see it. So I'm just going to use, let's see, I'll use my Tuscan red since it's right here. Okay. So all you're going to do, not real thin. Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is why I think I have so much trouble, is I want you guys to be able to see it without my hand in the way. All right. So you're just going to go, we want it to be a checkerboard. So as straight as you can, up and down, just go across. Get your lines in there. And then you're going to line
What color was that?
Yours
do I-
is poodle skirt pink.
Oh, okay.
I'm using the red just so you can see it.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, you need to also go across the top first, the top line. It's prettier with the poodle skirt. This red doesn't look good like this. But you're just gonna make your little squares. Okay. I'll let you get that done. Okay. That's gonna dry, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some warm white, some snow white, and with your liner brush, we're gonna make little heart-shaped flowers is the only way I can describe them. And all I did was, with my liner, you just do like a couple little comma strokes together. Okay. You don't want a lot of these because you're gonna put little leaves on each side. And then there's also some, there's dots, dip dots. So you can't fill up the cookie with just all these hearts. Okay, so you're gonna add some of those. And I'm gonna let you work on this. I know you can follow this. So we're gonna do the white like that, and then we're gonna do two little leaves. It's the same way. So with holly green, we're gonna add a little leaf on each side. A little drop leaf. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's there. You'll see it on your cookie. Let's see, let me lift it up for you. See how they're just right next to the heart? They're just little leaves. They're on the detail page. You can really see it. So each little heart, white heart drop, and then each little green leaf on the sides, okay?
No,
If you want to look at the detail pattern, then you know how many to put on there or how many will fit.
now what color green did you use?
I used holly.
Oh, okay.
Now, see, mine really shows up on the, I think it depends on how much highlight you have. So if your cookie's still fairly dark, like mine is, and my green's not showing up, you can just, actually we have the thermal, yeah, the thermal green, the neon. I think that's in there to add on top of it. Okay. Now, there's two different kinds of dots that I did. There's little skirt, pink, and then I let it dry for a little bit, and then I added a Tuscan red dot in the center. So I just did for example, if I do the dot there with poodle skirt, it's a little bigger. I use the back end of a brush. Let it dry for a minute, and then if I can find another stylist. I don't know. Well, I used a stylus, it was just smaller. Darn it. Oh, here it is. Oh no. And then the stylist I used Tuscan. So you can just put it right on top
Oh, okay.
like that. Okay. And then the other dip dots are white. And then all the ones in here in each square were poodle skirt. So the line, oh, I'm sorry, it was Tuscan. So the lines are poodle skirt and the dip dots were Tuscan red in all the
Okay.
squares.
Skirt.
One thing that you guys are going to be able to do, probably not during the class time, but the trim on this top cookie, it's all the bigger dots going around with the in poodle skirt, and then it has the Tuscan red in the center. Now these don't touch, they're close, but they don't touch. But you just want to let them dry before you add your Tuscan red. But see, that's going to be something you do very last. So for this detail on this cookie, we've done the checkerboard, the dip dots in the checkerboard. We've done little heart flowers, the leaves. And then you can also do just some little white, very tiny dip dots on here. Okay. You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. This cookie, the second one is a cross hatching of Snow White. I'm not going to do this one yet because see over here, if you look at the picture, there's a candy with cross hatching. So I'm going to skip the cookie because I want to do this candy because it's really neat how it looks like it's going over the edge. Okay, but it's the same technique as the cookie.
Mhm.
So we're going to skip the cookie for now because I really want to show you how to do this one because there's a lot more detail and I just want to make sure we have all the lines correct. Okay. So let's move on to cookie number 3. At least I numbered them. Okay. So cookie number 3. Okay. Got to get out my detail page because I don't even know what it. I mean, my instructions say it, but it's better if I look at the detail. So all the line work is poodle skirt, but then I go over it with Snow White. Okay. So get a liner brush and some poodle skirt pink. And then I didn't trace these on because it's just, if it's not perfect, like the way it is in the pattern, it's okay because it's a cookie and we're just decorating it. So it can be really any decoration you want, but there's no exact way it has to be. And I think it would just be harder to trace it on. So you don't want to go all the way to the edge to the chocolate because you're going to have dots here. Okay. So you just want to get a line like that, okay, of poodle skirt. You want to leave enough room because this is all going to have dots, okay? Now the next one is going to be a little wider because your dots are going to be bigger. And then you're going to have one a little bit closer. And then the final one is about the same. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
I know we're gonna get the video, but are you
Yes.
gonna send out the finishing instructions?
Well,
Or is that them on the?
You know what? No, I'll add that to the video. I'll make sure it's on the video.
Okay, thank you.
We may just finish it all tonight, but I don't know. And I just want to make sure, but you're right. I'm glad you told me that. So I'll make sure whatever we don't do, I will do the instruction on the video.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Liz Harris, the finishing instructions was the full pattern that came with your Zoom invite.
The full pattern. That's all the different shading and all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we're going to come down here to the bottom of the heart and do the same thing, but not quite. We're just going to add some lines, make sure you have some room here. And then just 2 more. I might have gotten my lines a little too big up above, but I'm not worried about it. Okay. So those are your first set of lines that you're going to put in.
mhm.
Now, just because I don't know why I did this, but just go over a little bit with some Snow White because that way it's just highlighted and it makes it pop out a little bit, but you don't have to go over the whole line. So you just take your Snow White and a liner and you just kind of here and there add some white highlights. Okay. Let me put it up here so you can see, just like that. You know what, as I'm thinking about it, if we don't finish certain things on here and I do a video, I might have to do it as two. Because the minute I end the meeting here, it automatically starts processing the video. And I wouldn't know how to add on to it. So I'll just have two separate links.
Okay.
Okay, so just add your little highlights here. Okay, and then we're gonna put on for Tuscan red, or with Tuscan red rather, we're gonna do little heart flowers again, or little hearts, whatever they are. The way I worded it. But they're gonna go on the chocolate. And there's just a couple of them that you can, here, I'll show you. We did them right here. Okay. So you're going to do those in Tuscan and then do the holly green on the outside of each of them. So I think I did my lines too wide, or not too wide, they're just wide. So I'm not going to fit as many hearts in there, but that's okay. So now I'm going to add a little green. I'll add some white to it so you can see it. So with poodle skirt, I added some little vertical lines right here. And these will come together once you put on your edging, your dip dots. So I put one here, some lines going across, and then up here. Okay. Then I started adding my dots. So now I need to add some more red. My red's getting used up. So the dip dots are the Tuscan red, the poodle skirt, and the white. And I'm sorry, I gotta go put my dog in a second. She knows I'm in here and she'll bark at the window till I bring her in. She's just awful that way. But these are the bigger pink, the bigger poodle skirt.
Okay.
Like that. Okay. And then I did some smaller ones. There was no rhyme or reason when I was doing this. I just did what I thought looked cute. So I'm going to let those dry. Then I did white. So there's a couple, well, I did them all the same size. But you can always start in the center and go big to small on either side if you want, but I did all these pretty much close to the same size. So I started there. Oh, you know what? This also had the little ladder. Okay. Go all the way to the edge. Anyway. And then I did some white on the outer edge right here. But like I said, if you look at the detail page, then you can tell what fits and not like me, like I did with this one. Not everything's gonna fit because I just drew it in. I didn't even do the pattern. But you get the idea. This basically has all three of the colors, and then there's even, after you do your little hearts with your leaves, I added some very small white dip dots because that makes these stand out just a little bit more. Okay. And then the very last, which you're not going to do it right now, but these are lined on the, should be on the cookie part more so than the, it's right on the edge of the frosting, but on the cookie with these little dots. Now to make them all the exact same size, you know, to wipe it off, your stylus off and put them on there again. But this really finishes all the cookies. So they all have a nice edge. I wish cookies that I make at Christmas look like this, but they don't. I always tell myself, oh, I'm just going to decorate so good and I'm going to get all my stuff. And by the time I'm done making the dough, I'm like, oh my gosh, how many cookies do I have? My kids don't like to help me as much as they used to when they were little. That's why I need grandkids. I keep telling my daughter. She's been with her boyfriend since they were 16 and they both just turned 27. So it's time.
Mine was 35 before I got one. That
I
was
had-
my. Mhm.
Well, I had both my kids a little bit later. I was 29 when I had my daughter, but I was 39 when I had my son. So it's going to be a while before I see anything from him. Okay, so I just want to show you what one finished one will look like. Pretty much finished, but see how that edge really just, it cleans it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So if you guys want to take another potty break or whatever, not even 5 minutes, doesn't matter, but I got to go let my dog in
Yes.
before she tears my screen off. So I'll be back in just a sec.
Okay.
This is harder than making cookies.
Okay, so the detail on the teapot and the cup, it's stripes. in certain areas. And the colors are Tuscan red, peony pink, white, and holly green. Okay. The only one, okay, so the heart has all three colors. The cup has all three. And the, okay, those are the only two. Then the rest, and we're gonna go through it. I just want to give you kind of an idea. On the lid and at the bottom, they're just the light pink and the red. So they're all just a tad different. So let's just start with the heart. So just get out your liner and you're going to start with poodle skirt. And your lines aren't really thin either. You want them to show. So you just put some lines in there like that. And then you're going to add some holly green. You don't have to do quite as many. Like here, I only put 3 in there. Okay. And then I did the red, the Tuscan. Okay. And then the last color will be white. And I'm going to use that color next to my darker colors just so they kind of pop a little bit. So it's like I could just put one maybe just right on the very edge of the green. And if it ends up touching, you know, another color, it's fine. So just like that. So there's my striped heart.
Mhm.
Okay, then you're going to do that same thing down here on the cup. So with the cup though, I did kind of a pattern, not too terrible, but I did a couple stripes like this that are next to each other with the poodle skirt. Whoa, not that big. Jeez. Okay. So it's just kind of like that. And then I added some Tuscan green. And I just might do that on the left side of each, you know, of the pink. Okay. And then it looks like I did the Tuscan in the center of each one. Okay, and then some white. My poor little cup. That's what I get for not putting the pattern on. Anyway. Then down, I gotta look at something. Yeah, up here, I did that little pattern. So I did 2 and 2. And these are just peony, poodle skirt and Tuscan. And the same thing down here. And then I just added the Tuscan red. And then the same thing at the bottom down here. Forgot to do the one on the spout is the same as the heart. So I'm just gonna put some pink in there. Some poodle skirt. Some green. And some Tuscan red. And then some white. Oh, okay. So the teacup handle, it's all in my instructions. You'd think I should just read it. But they're white. No, I think it's not. Yeah, it is. It's white and Tuscan. And then there's also across the cup here. This is peony pink. So that's a nice thick line. Now the inside and the rim of the cup is white. So that's the front, and then you want to make sure you do the back. Okay. Okay, so now the lines on the teacup are white and Tuscan. And we're gonna add a little more shading on the handle. I'll let you guys kind of get caught up with all this. Do you guys want to stay longer for the class, or do you want to end it at 8?
I will be leaving at 8.
Okay,
I think I would too. The rest looks fine. You know, you did the tough stuff.
okay, well, I'm just gonna keep on going as long as I can with, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend, I think I can extend the time on this. Or I'll just have to keep going, but I'm gonna finish it tonight. I'll be on here. So if you guys want to stay, you can. If you want to just watch the video, you can. I think I can do it like that. I don't think Zoom like is gonna cut me off if I'm not done. So we'll see. Okay, so right here on I have the hiccups. Can you believe it? Okay, so on the teapot, you're going to put a line that divides the top from the bottom.
Yeah.
And we're just going to let that dry. Then on this line here that's on the teacup, oh gosh, excuse me. This is gonna be awful. You're gonna add dry brush, a little bit of white on there, that's all. We're also gonna float a little bit of Tuscan. On the handle against the cup and kind of just so it pops out a little bit more. Okay. Then so you can either use a stencil, but it's just as easy and it looks just as cute if you don't have a square checkered stencil. You can just use let's see. This is, well, it says number 6 flat, but it's not, it's maybe like a quarter flat. And with your white, you can just add some squares. So you can just start here at the top, and they don't have to be solid. And they're just going across like this. Okay, so you do 1 row. Okay, then you're gonna go. Now, I guess if I did these bigger, I would only have 2 rows, but I think I'm gonna end up with 3. But then you're just gonna go in between each one. Okay, and then because it's such a small area, I mean, it's just as easy to do it like that than it would be to get a stencil out. Okay. So that's how you put your squares on. Okay, so I'm going to start on the candy in a minute, but I want to show you something on the teapot that I love this technique. So what I did was I took my stylist, and I'm sure it's something you've all done before, but when I did my dip dots on the teapot, I actually, you know what, before we do that, we need to float the hearts. So these are with Tuscan red. We're going to float each heart the right side here, kind of walk it up from the bottom. Okay. It's a float of Tuscan, okay, on those hearts. And then on the white, the highlight is across the top. So it's just right here. Okay. And then there's also 2, well, they're the green leaves, like on the other hearts on the cookies. They're comma strokes. Small, they're thin. But I just thought, I love this green with these pinks. So anyway, you just want to put a little comma stroke in here, right next to your heart. They look a little more like leaves. Okay. Just like that. Then you want to do your dip dots of white. So, because once everything's on here, you can go back, add a couple. All right, that one got a little big, but that's okay, because then you can for sure see it, because what I'm going to do is with slate gray. Oh, come on. I'm almost, oh no, not with slate, charcoal. I'm sorry. or not charcoal, graphite. Can you tell I'm getting tired? I'm starting to mess up on my colors. Okay, it's graphite. We're gonna do a little tiny float under each white dip dot. So it's here, there. This one got a little bit darker than I would want, so you want to blend them out and just do a little float on each of those dip dots. I just thought it kind of sets them back into the pot a little bit. You do the same dip dots here on the cup. Okay, however many you want. You're gonna let it dry better than I did. And you're just gonna add look at, I think oh, it's just a glare. Anyway. So there's white dip dots on the top lid, on the cup, on the spout, on the body of the teapot, and on the handle. Okay. Once you do all those, then you can go back and you do a little shade underneath each one like I did here. Okay. So on your envelope, you have like a candy cane right here. This is all self-explanatory. You're just going to put in your little, it's peony pink. You're just going to put in all your squares. But the candy cane is a little bit different. So I'm actually going to do it on, hold on one second. Hold on. Oh, okay. So the seams, like all here, all your raised seams, they should be peony pink. And then your checks are going to be white. Okay. This is different down here. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So it's going to be a peony pink. I'm going to throw that in there real quick. Because I don't have an envelope, so I don't have that at the bottom. Okay. So that's going to be my stripe like you would have at the bottom of your heart. It's peony pink. Yours is dry. But what you're going to do, you're going to float S strokes for highlights with white. And you're going to go all the way across. So depends how you want to, how I did it. If I start way over here, just like that, and you just do an S, okay? Like a float. And I just did it all the way across. Now, you can make these wider. Go back and just kind of add to it.
I'm going to be leaving.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. I'm
I got-
glad.
I got a lot of catching up to do, but I'll get her.
Okay. And you know
Thank
what? You can contact me if you need help. You can email me, you can call me, whatever. 'Cause
Okay. I
all of
appreciate
it's
that.
on the pattern.
Thank you so
my
much.
info. Okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Okay, so you got those S strokes in for a highlight. Okay, so then we do another set of S strokes. I'm sorry. We're going to use, hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be Tuscan. So with Tuscan red in between each white, and they're not going to be as wide. Okay. Okay, then you're going to take a liner brush. And I'm sorry, I did that one on the wrong side. And you're just going to line in with Tuscan red. Right where you did the Tuscan red S, you're going to add a regular line, an S shape. Okay. I know this seems like a lot and you guys don't have to do this tonight. But then you're going to do another Tuscan red line on the left side of each white float. And then you're going to do another white right next to it. Okay. Then when it's all dry, you're going to do a float of Tuscan across the top. It's going to be almost like a wash, but you're just going to float across with Tuscan red. And then the very last thing you're going to do is you're going to take a liner in white and very thin. You're just going to do kind of a broken line all the way across. Okay. And that will be it. So now with the candy, on the triangle with Snow White and a liner brush, you can see, oh, was it white? I'm sorry. It's not white, it's bittersweet chocolate. we're gonna add, you know, which those chocolate sprinkles. So we're gonna add those. And what I did is I put them on the highlighted part. Oh, you can't even see, sorry. I put my little sprinkles on this triangle pretty much on the highlighted area, so they stood out, okay? And just with the liner brush, I just laid it down and just did a little lines that they look like sprinkles. Okay, and then after that, I took a little Snow White. And these, when you highlight the candy, you have to be very kind of delicate. You just don't want a big old highlight. It can be, it just needs to be kind of thin. Okay. So there's your chocolate, or the triangle with the little chocolate sprinkles. This candy, this is an easy one. It's just some dip dots of Snow White. Okay. And again, I just did it basically on the highlighted part. Okay. Okay, so the circle candy, or the round candy, I should say, not circle, is Tuscan red, and you have to water it down. And you're going to add lines going in different directions, but these lines should be curved. They're not straight. So if you curve them, they'll make the candy look more like a ball. So you can go this way and this way. Any way you want, just make sure it's curved. Okay. See how that is starting to look a lot more round than it was. Okay. I didn't make that one as curvy as I should have. Okay. I'm going to leave it like that because I want to show you we add white to it. Actually, there's a lot more to that. So what I did was, so once you add your lines with Tuscan red, you're going to take some peony pink. And you're going to add some highlight just to the tops of that line. Of those lines, I'm sorry. So you're going to go maybe here with peony. You're going to maybe any line that is on top of another one. And that will be, you can determine that as you do these. So you might only have, 3. I'm going to add some white just so you can see it better. So here's, these are all on top, right? This one is a little bright because I wanted you to see it, but I'm going to tone it down just a tad. But what we're going to do next, and I know this sounds crazy, but we are gonna take cranberry wine. I think I just used that. You can just, I'm actually not going to use cranberry. I'm going to show you something because I want you to be able to see it. I'm going to use, I think I should just add some black just so you guys can see it because you're not going to be able to otherwise. But you need to add some little bit of lines where these meet. So if this one is under here, that's where we would put our little bit of lines here of cranberry, right where. So it makes the other one look, this top line, you can really tell it's on top, okay? So on all your lines that are on the bottom is where you want your darker. In my case, I used black. Okay. But now you can tell where the other lines are sitting on top. Okay, so that's for the round. Okay, so poodle skirt is the cross hatching on the long narrow candy in the center. And the cross hatching is curved. So I started here in the corner. You just go all the way down and you curve. Because now your candy looks curved at the top. And that's what you want. That's what you're going to do when you do this cookie over here. Cookie number 2 is cross-hatched, okay? And you're going to go this way. Make sure you go all the way to the edge to get that finished curve. Okay, I'm really happy with this. Look how round, it looks like a loaf of bread laying in there. All right, so that's how your candy will look if you do it. Put a good curve on there, okay? I can't remember if I dotted those or not. Nope, I didn't. Okay, then the other candy has just a white, and these decorations, they're supposed to look like, you know, frosting or whatever. So they're not thin. And so this is on the square, just like that. So it looks like it's sitting on top. Okay. This one, mine's not in the right direction, but it's a pink heart, just like these, okay? It has the 2 little leaves. The only difference is it has a green leaf coming down the center, which is, you'll see that. So here's your stem. Easy peasy. Then you just put your little leaves in. And then this is the heart, and it's done just like these. Okay. Then the last candy, okay, these are supposed to be little nuts. So it's milk chocolate. And it's just little, you know, little nuts. And these are kind of I wanted them to look like they're on crumbled kind of on top. Okay. So those are little nuts, and then
What color was that?
this was milk chocolate. And then I added bittersweet to it on top. I guess I was going for the multi look, but it's milk and then some bittersweet. I just wanted it 2 different colors. And then once you get those on how you want, you're going to go back with your white and just add their white. Okay. Now I added way too much white. I think it should have, they're supposed to be nuts and they look too white to me. So I can always go back. Just tone it down a little bit. The highlight doesn't have to be that bright. I just wanted it to look like a little crumble. Oh, I know. Well, the wording I did on this heart was with a pen, but I wanted to do on that teacup, there's a float in here of the tea, and that's with dark chocolate. I'm almost. Okay, so dark chocolate, you're going to line or just float shade on the tea, the bottom. Okay. And then this line for the tea bag, the little string that holds it, that is, oh, sorry. It's white. So this your line for your tea bag, I mean, it doesn't have to be straight. It shouldn't be, right? It's gonna go up the side of the cup and into the tea, just like that. Okay, so that's, now I wrote on here, "You're my cup of tea," and I used a IdentiPen. Okay. Then I also, on this, whatever it's called, the what the teacup is sitting on, the saucer, put little lines, little decorative lines of white. Okay. The wording at the top, and I'm going to send it to Liz Sharp, that pattern, so everybody can get it. It's peony pink. And the hearts are peony pink also that go there. Now for the last part of all of this, because this is pretty much the detail, except for, I'm sorry, the candy box, you're going to highlight it with Snow White with a float. And you're going to shade it with a float of Tuscan, okay? So you're just going to add a highlight. Of course, mine looks totally different than yours. Okay, so you're gonna do the highlight with white, and then you're gonna do a float shade underneath it with Tuscany red or Tuscan red. Okay. Now, I believe that's it for the candy. After we do the box. What I do want to show you is on this wood counter, tabletop, whatever I called it. It's done in sand, and we're going to dry brush the highlights with Snow White. And so that would be in any negative space that you have on the envelope. So pretty much your highlights are going to be right here in the center here, around the teacup, around the heart. Okay. Mine is just a little bit more because I have more space. But you're just going to dry brush the center. Okay. And then you're going to take dark chocolate. And this is nothing fancy. It's just something that everything is sitting on. I didn't make it to look like wood or anything like that. Okay, it's just, you're gonna go across the top. So yours is, like I said, it's gonna look a little different. And you do want to blend this out because you want it to be soft. Okay. You're going to go across the bottom. So here's the candy cane. You have that candy cane area. So you're going to go above the candy cane all the way across. Okay. And then you're going to go around each object that is sitting on the stand. Right? So it's going to be the coffee, it's going to be the teapot. Okay. And you're going to float around everything. You're going to float around the handle. You're going to float around the bottom. You're going to float around the cup. So remember, this counter is only in the middle section of your envelope. So the cookies and the candy aren't part of it. Just the center. Okay. Then with the other sides, so the sand part is float shaded on the outside of dark chocolate. The gray areas are going to be floated in any negative space because you have your white stripes in. Then you're going to go in with graphite and you're going to float just like we did with the dark chocolate, but you're going to use graphite. And you're going to float around the cookies and the candy box, the teapot. I got to find my graphite. I'm sorry. Wait a minute, let me make sure I used graphite. I might have used, no, it is graphite, I'm sorry. I gotta find it. I don't know where I put it. Well, I guess I'll have to use black because I don't know what I did with my graphite. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so with graphite, you're going to float around your cookies. You're going to do it soft though. Don't do it real heavy. Mine's too heavy. Uh-oh, you can see it. It's way too heavy. Let me do that again. Sorry. So with your graphite, just make sure you blend it out really well. Okay, and you want to float. And it doesn't have to be a real wide float. Yours is going to look 100 times better because mine has no white stripes. Okay, and it's on a different surface. So, but you're also going to go around the teapot. Anything where the teapot is touching gray is going to get floated around. Okay. Same thing with the cup, but it's only, you know, it's not going to be the whole thing because half of it's sitting on the counter. This is the background. You just want that background to stand out. What you're doing is you're making sure that all your objects are set back into your surface. So, like I said, the lettering is peony pink with little white highlight lines. You can see that in the picture, in the photograph. And that's it. I think we covered everything. We did get everything in. I'm going to do really quick just so you can see it. I know I said that this cookie's the same as the, and it is the same as the candy, but just so you can get a better visual of it. If you need to go back and look at the recording. So for the cookie, I'm gonna cheat and look at my picture, see how I did this. Okay, so you're just gonna start, put all your lines in. Okay. And they're all going up. So I started in the right corner, the top, and they're all curved. Okay. And then the next set, we'll start in the left top corner and they're curved. Okay. That is by far not a, it's not a very good cross hatching on my cookie. Okay. And then each one had a dip dot in this at each corner. So the corner of each cross hatching, I guess you could say, of each square, there was a dot. And then of course, all around the cookie. Okay. Now I think we're done. I don't know, is there anybody left?
Yes,
Oh, everybody's up there. There you are. I haven't looked up in so long. Okay.
We weren't gonna leave you.
Oh, you're great. I think it turned out good. I'm glad
Yeah.
I got to show you how to do it all. I didn't know if I was going to be able to.
Yeah,
And we
I was,
stayed a little, We stayed a little bit longer, but who cares? I didn't care at all. So
Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
I
Mhm.
had a great time. You guys are a good group. You're easy to
Thank you.
teach too.
Oh, thanks. Well, I hope we didn't mess up too much with trying to get on and off Zoom. Sometimes
No,
those
no,
things happen.
no, not at all. Absolutely not. It was fine. I think it
Well,
was
thank you
great.
so much.
And I hope we can do it again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm working my butt off trying to get more stuff up on my website. It just seems like every time I try, I got something else going on and
Yeah.
so we'll see. Just the way life is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let me
Okay,
see.
guys.
Let me
Huh?
see your,
See my piece?
no, everybody else.
Oh yeah, everybody put your stuff up. Oh my God. I think
Look.
everybody's is cute. Look at
Yeah.
that. Make sure to post on Facebook, please. So I can tell
Okay.
everybody how great it was.
Yes.
And everybody will want to come join your chapter.
Yay.
Yeah.
We have to promote you.
Oh, we
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys.
Liz. It
You're
was
welcome.
a great class. Mhm.
Thanks. I'm really
Thank
glad it was
you.
fun. All right,
Thank-
girls, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay,
Good night.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Susan.